If you're following the government's recommended daily allowance for protein and you're over 60, you're unknowingly participating in what I call a slow starvation diet. And the tragic part? Your doctor probably recommended it. The RDA suggests that a 150-pound adult needs just 54 grams of protein per day. But here's what they don't tell you. After age 60, your body becomes protein resistant. Following those guidelines isn't maintaining your health. It's systematically dismantling your muscle mass, compromising your immune system, and accelerating cognitive decline. In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you the research that proves why the RDA is not just inadequate for seniors, it's medically dangerous. And more importantly, I'll give you the exact protein protocol that can reverse years of muscle loss and restore the vitality you thought was gone forever. Let me start with a story that changed how I practice medicine. 3 years ago, Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher, came to my office complaining of fatigue and weakness. Her blood work was normal, according to standard ranges. Her doctor had told her that feeling tired was just part of getting older. But when we did a DEXA scan to measure her muscle mass, the results were shocking. Margaret had lost 35% of her skeletal muscle mass since age 40. She was what we call sarcopenic obese, normal weight on the scale, but her body composition told a different story. Her muscle had been replaced by fat, and her metabolism had crashed. The culprit. She was eating exactly what the RDA recommended, 46 grams of protein per day. For a woman her size and age, this was metabolic suicide. Within 6 months of implementing the protocol I'm about to share with you, Margaret had regained 12 pounds of lean muscle mass and felt stronger than she had in 20 years. Margaret's story isn't unique. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that 46% of adults over 70 are consuming inadequate protein according to their actual physiological needs, not the outdated RDA guidelines. These people aren't just tired. They're experiencing accelerated muscle loss, increased fracture risk, impaired wound healing, and compromised immune function. The difference between thriving in your later years and merely surviving often comes down to one factor: whether you're giving your body the protein it actually needs, not what a government committee decided was adequate based on preventing deficiency diseases in younger adults. The recommended daily allowance for protein was established in 1943 during World War II. The goal wasn't optimal health. It was preventing malnutrition in soldiers and factory workers. The committee used data primarily from healthy young men and extrapolated those numbers across all age groups and genders. Here's the problem. Your body at 70 is fundamentally different from your body at 30. After age 40, you lose approximately 8% of your muscle mass per decade. After 60, this accelerates to 15% per decade. Yet the RDA assumes your protein needs remain static throughout your entire adult life. Dr. Stuart Phillips from McMaster University, one of the world's leading protein researchers, has demonstrated that older adults need 40% more protein than younger adults to achieve the same muscle protein synthesis response. This is called anabolic resistance. Your aging muscles become resistant to the muscle-building signals that protein provides. A landmark 2013 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 2,066 adults aged 70 to 79 for 3 years. Those consuming the RDA amount of protein lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those consuming higher amounts. The researchers concluded that the current RDA may be insufficient to maintain muscle mass in older adults. But here's what's truly alarming. The RDA isn't just inadequate. It's based on nitrogen balance studies that measure the minimum amount needed to prevent your body from breaking down its own muscle for amino acids. It's a starvation prevention standard. not an optimization standard. Imagine if we determined your water needs based on the minimum required to prevent death from dehydration. That's essentially what the protein RDA does. It prevents deficiency diseases, but it doesn't support the robust muscle mass, immune function, and metabolic health that define successful aging. Sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, affects 30% of adults over 60 and 50% of those over 80. But here's what your doctor probably hasn't told you. Sarcopenia isn't an inevitable part of aging. It's largely a nutritional deficiency disease masquerading as natural decline. The difference between frailty and vitality in your 70s often comes down to muscle mass. Every pound of muscle you lose decreases your metabolic rate by 50 calories per day. Lose 20 pounds of muscle over 2 decades, which is typical for someone following the RDA, and your metabolism drops by 1,000 calories per day. This is why many seniors say they're eating the same amount they always have but gaining weight. Their muscle mass has been replaced by fat, their metabolism has crashed, and they're trapped in a cycle of declining function and increasing frailty. But muscle loss doesn't just affect your appearance or your ability to open jars. Skeletal muscle is your body's amino acid reservoir. When your immune system needs to fight infection, repair wounds, or produce neurotransmitters, it draws amino acids from your muscle tissue. Inadequate dietary protein forces your body to cannibalize its own muscle for essential functions. This is why seniors with low muscle mass have longer hospital stays, higher infection rates, and slower wound healing. A 2018 study in clinical nutrition found that hospitalized seniors with sarcopenia had a 200% higher risk of complications and a 300% higher risk of readmission within 30 days. The good news? Unlike many aspects of aging, muscle loss is largely reversible with adequate protein intake and resistance exercise. But you need to know how much protein your aging body actually requires, and it's significantly more than the RDA suggests. Your immune system is essentially a protein manufacturing factory. Antibodies, cytokines, complement proteins, the molecular weapons your body uses to fight infection, are all made from amino acids. When protein intake is inadequate, immune function collapses. This isn't theoretical. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition tracked 2,974 adults over age 65 for 4 years. Those consuming protein below the RDA had a 67% higher risk of pneumonia, a 45% higher risk of urinary tract infections, and a 23% higher risk of hospitalization for any infectious disease. The mechanism is straightforward but devastating. When dietary protein is insufficient, your body breaks down muscle tissue to provide amino acids for immune function. This creates a vicious cycle. Muscle loss leads to further metabolic dysfunction, chronic inflammation, and even greater immune compromise. Dr. Simin Maidani from Tufts University demonstrated that seniors consuming just 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, the RDA amount, had significantly impaired vaccine responses compared to those consuming 1.2 grams per kilogram. Their bodies literally couldn't manufacture enough antibodies to create immunity. This has profound implications for vaccine effectiveness in seniors. If your body lacks the amino acid building blocks to produce antibodies, even the best vaccines may not protect you. The solution isn't better vaccines, it's adequate protein intake. But here's the encouraging news. Immune function responds rapidly to increased protein intake. Studies show improvements in immune markers within just 4 weeks of optimizing protein consumption. Your body wants to heal and protect itself. It just needs the raw materials to do so. If what I've shared so far has opened your eyes to the critical importance of adequate protein for healthy aging, I want you to know that this is just the beginning. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept decline as inevitable, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because what I'm about to reveal about the specific amounts and timing of protein intake could literally add years to your life and life to your years. When most people think about bone health, they think about calcium and vitamin D. But here's what the osteoporosis industry doesn't want you to know. Protein is more important for bone health than calcium, especially after age 60. Your bones aren't just mineral deposits. They're living tissue with a protein matrix called collagen that provides flexibility and tensile strength. Without adequate protein, your bones become brittle and prone to fracture, regardless of how much calcium you consume. The Framingham Osteoporosis Study, which followed 615 elderly adults for 4 years, found that those with the highest protein intake had significantly higher bone density and 37% fewer fractures than those with the lowest protein intake. The low protein group was consuming amounts consistent with the RDA. Dr. Bess Dawson-Hughes from Tufts University conducted a landmark intervention study where she increased protein intake in seniors from 0.8 grams per kilogram, the RDA, to 1.2 grams per kilogram. Within 12 months, the higher protein group showed significant increases in bone density, while the RDA group continued to lose bone mass. The mechanism is elegant. Adequate protein intake preserves muscle mass, and muscle mass determines bone density through mechanical loading. Strong muscles pull on bones during movement, stimulating bone formation. Weak muscles from protein deficiency lead to bone loss through disuse. But there's another crucial factor: the amino acid lysine, found abundantly in high-quality proteins, is essential for collagen synthesis. Without adequate lysine, your body cannot maintain the protein matrix that gives bones their strength and flexibility. After age 60, wound healing becomes dramatically slower and less effective. What should be a minor cut that heals in days can become a chronic wound that persists for weeks. The primary culprit? Protein deficiency masquerading as normal aging. Wound healing is one of the most protein-intensive processes in your body. You need amino acids to synthesize collagen, build new blood vessels, fight infection, and create new skin cells. When protein intake is inadequate, your body simply cannot heal effectively. A 2018 study published in Advances in Wound Care followed 234 seniors after surgery. Those consuming protein below the RDA had healing times that were 40% longer and complication rates that were 60% higher than those consuming adequate protein. Some wounds that should have healed in 2 weeks took over a month. Dr. Nancy Munoz, a leading wound care specialist, has demonstrated that seniors need at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight during wound healing, nearly double the RDA. Yet most healthcare providers never assess protein status or make dietary recommendations. The amino acids arginine and glutamine are particularly crucial for wound healing. Arginine supports immune function and collagen synthesis, while glutamine fuels the rapidly dividing cells involved in tissue repair. These amino acids are abundant in high-quality proteins, but often deficient in RDA-level diets. But here's the encouraging news. Wound healing responds rapidly to increased protein intake. Studies show that even chronic wounds that have persisted for months can begin healing within weeks of optimizing protein consumption. Your body's healing capacity isn't gone. It's just been starved of the raw materials it needs. Your metabolism isn't just about burning calories. It's about maintaining the cellular machinery that keeps you alive and vital. Protein has the highest thermic effect of all macronutrients, meaning it requires more energy to digest, absorb, and utilize than carbohydrates or fats. When you consume adequate protein, approximately 30% of those calories are burned just in the process of digestion and protein synthesis. This is called the thermic effect of food, and it's one of the reasons why higher protein intake is associated with better weight management and metabolic health. But the metabolic benefits go far beyond calorie burning. Every pound of muscle tissue burns approximately 50 calories per day at rest, while fat tissue burns only 2 calories per pound. When you lose muscle mass due to inadequate protein intake, your metabolic rate plummets. Dr. Donald Lehman from the University of Illinois has extensively studied protein's metabolic effects in seniors. His research shows that increasing protein intake from RDA levels to optimal levels improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammatory markers, and enhances glucose tolerance, all within 8 weeks. The mechanism involves the amino acid leucine, which acts as a metabolic signal to maintain muscle mass and optimize insulin sensitivity. Leucine is found in highest concentrations in animal proteins and is often deficient in plant-based diets that meet only RDA protein requirements. This metabolic optimization isn't just about weight management, it's about maintaining the energy and vitality that makes life enjoyable. Many seniors report feeling decades younger within months of optimizing their protein intake. Here's a phenomenon that's reaching epidemic proportions but rarely discussed: sarcopenic obesity. This is when someone appears to have a normal weight on the scale but has lost significant muscle mass, which has been replaced by fat, particularly dangerous visceral fat, around the organs. The scale lies. Weight alone tells you nothing about body composition, and body composition determines health outcomes. A 2020 study published in Clinical Nutrition found that 45% of normal weight seniors actually had sarcopenic obesity. They looked fine, but were metabolically obese and physically frail. This condition is particularly insidious because it flies under the radar. These individuals don't look obese, so they don't receive interventions. Their doctors see normal weight and blood pressure and assume they're healthy. Meanwhile, their muscle mass continues to decline, their metabolism crashes, and their risk of diabetes, heart disease, and disability skyrockets. Dr. Stephanie Studensky from the University of Pittsburgh has extensively studied this phenomenon. Her research shows that seniors with sarcopenic obesity have a 200% higher risk of physical disability and a 150% higher risk of mortality compared to those with healthy body composition, even when total body weight is identical. The primary driver of sarcopenic obesity is inadequate protein intake combined with sedentary behavior. When you consume RDA-level protein, your body cannot maintain muscle mass, especially if you're not regularly challenging your muscles with resistance exercise. But here's the encouraging news. Sarcopenic obesity is completely reversible with adequate protein intake and resistance exercise. Studies show that seniors can gain 10 to 15 pounds of muscle mass while losing 15 to 25 pounds of fat within 6 months of optimizing their nutrition and exercise. Not all proteins are created equal, and this becomes critically important as you age. Your body's ability to digest, absorb, and utilize protein declines with age, making protein quality more crucial than ever. Proteins are made up of amino acids, and your body needs all 9 essential amino acids in the right proportions to build muscle, support immune function, and maintain metabolic health. Animal proteins contain all essential amino acids in optimal ratios, while most plant proteins are incomplete or have limiting amino acids. The concept of protein quality is measured by something called the Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score, PDCAAS. Eggs score 1.0, perfect. Whey protein scores 1.0, beef scores 0.92, but rice scores 0.57, and wheat scores 0.42. This means you need almost twice as much plant protein to get the same muscle-building effect. This becomes critical for seniors because digestive efficiency declines with age. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors absorb only 60 to 70% of the amino acids from plant proteins compared to 85 to 95% from animal proteins. Dr. Luc van Loon from Maastricht University has demonstrated that seniors need approximately 40% more plant protein than animal protein to achieve the same muscle protein synthesis response. This means if you need 30 grams of high-quality animal protein, you'd need 42 grams of plant protein. And that's assuming perfect digestion. The amino acid leucine deserves special mention. This branching chain amino acid acts as a trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Animal proteins contain 2 to 3 times more leucine per serving than plant proteins, making them far more effective for maintaining muscle mass in seniors. When you eat protein matters almost as much as how much you eat, especially as you age. Your body's ability to utilize protein becomes less efficient, making the timing and distribution of protein intake crucial for optimal muscle protein synthesis. Most seniors make a critical mistake. They eat very little protein at breakfast, a moderate amount at lunch, and load up at dinner. This pattern is metabolically disastrous because muscle protein synthesis requires a threshold amount of amino acids, typically 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein, to trigger the anabolic response. Dr. Douglas Padden-Jones from the University of Texas has extensively studied protein timing in seniors. His research shows that consuming 30 grams of protein at each meal produces 25% greater muscle protein synthesis than consuming 90 grams in a single meal, even though the total daily intake is identical. The concept is called protein pulsing, and it's based on the understanding that muscle protein synthesis operates on a 3 to 4 hour cycle. Each time you consume adequate protein, you get a 3 to 4 hour window of enhanced muscle building. Miss that window, and you can't make up for it later. But here's where it gets interesting. The first meal of the day may be the most important. After an overnight fast, your body is in a catabolic state, breaking down muscle for amino acids. A high-protein breakfast can rapidly shift you into an anabolic state and set the tone for the entire day. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that seniors who consumed at least 25 grams of protein at breakfast had significantly better muscle mass, strength, and functional capacity compared to those who consumed less than 15 grams, regardless of total daily protein intake. Protein intake and resistance exercise work synergistically. Each amplifies the benefits of the other. But here's what most people don't know. The timing of protein consumption around exercise can double or even triple the muscle-building response in seniors. When you perform resistance exercise, you create microscopic damage in your muscle fibers. This damage triggers a repair and growth response, but only if adequate amino acids are available. Without sufficient protein, exercise can actually accelerate muscle loss rather than promote muscle growth. Dr. Stuart Phillips from McMaster University conducted a groundbreaking study where seniors performed identical resistance training programs. One group consumed 25 grams of whey protein immediately after exercise, while the other group consumed a placebo. After 12 weeks, the protein group gained 2.3 kilograms of muscle mass, while the placebo group gained only 0.8 kilograms. The anabolic window, the period immediately following exercise when muscle protein synthesis is elevated, lasts approximately 2 to 3 hours in seniors, compared to 1 to 2 hours in younger adults. This means you have a longer window of opportunity, but you absolutely must take advantage of it. But the synergy goes beyond just post-workout protein. Consuming 20 to 25 grams of protein 2 to 3 hours before exercise can prime your muscles for growth by ensuring amino acids are available in your bloodstream when the exercise stimulus occurs. A 2019 meta-analysis published in Sports Medicine analyzed 22 studies involving seniors and found that combining optimal protein intake with resistance exercise produced muscle gains that were 40% greater than exercise alone and 300% greater than protein supplementation alone. If you've made it this far, you're clearly committed to understanding what it takes to age with strength and vitality. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept decline as inevitable, and I'd love for you to join us. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because the specific protein recommendations I'm about to share could be the difference between thriving and merely surviving in your later years. Let me give you the exact numbers that can transform your health. Based on the latest research, seniors need a minimum of 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. But if you're active or recovering from illness, you need significantly more. For a 150-pound, 68-kilogram senior, this means at least 82 grams of protein per day. That's 50% more than the RDA of 54 grams. If you're regularly active or dealing with any health challenges, you need 1.4 to 1.6 grams per kilogram, which would be 95 to 109 grams per day. To put this in practical terms, that's approximately 30 grams of protein at each of 3 meals. One large egg contains about 6 grams of protein, so you'd need 5 eggs to reach 30 grams. 3 ounces of salmon provides about 22 grams, so you'd need about 4 ounces to hit your target. But here's the critical detail. These numbers assume high-quality, complete proteins with optimal amino acid profiles. If you're relying primarily on plant proteins, you'll need 20 to 40% more to achieve the same muscle protein synthesis response. Dr. Wayne Campbell from Purdue University has extensively studied protein requirements in seniors. His research consistently shows that consuming 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight optimizes muscle protein synthesis, immune function, and overall health outcomes. These aren't arbitrary numbers. They're based on metabolic studies measuring actual protein turnover, muscle protein synthesis rates, and functional outcomes in thousands of seniors. This is the difference between maintaining your independence and requiring assistance with daily activities. Having the right amount of protein in your diet is only half the battle. If you can't properly digest and absorb that protein, you're still functionally protein deficient. And here's the problem. Digestive function declines significantly with age. After age 60, stomach acid production decreases by approximately 40%. This is called hypochlorhydria, and it's one of the primary reasons why seniors develop protein deficiency even when consuming adequate amounts. Without sufficient stomach acid, you cannot break down proteins into absorbable amino acids. The enzyme pepsin, which is responsible for initiating protein digestion in the stomach, requires an acidic environment to function properly. When stomach acid is low, pepsin activity plummets, leaving large protein molecules partially undigested and poorly absorbed. This is why many seniors experience bloating, gas, and discomfort when they increase protein intake. Their digestive systems simply can't handle the load. But there are solutions that can dramatically improve protein absorption and utilization. Dr. Jonathan Wright, a pioneer in digestive health research, has demonstrated that supplementing with betaine, HCl, stomach acid, and digestive enzymes can improve protein absorption by 60 to 80% in seniors with hypochlorhydria. Simple strategies like consuming apple cider vinegar before protein-rich meals, taking digestive enzyme supplements, and eating smaller, more frequent protein servings can dramatically improve your body's ability to utilize the protein you consume. Protein metabolism requires adequate hydration, and this becomes critically important as you age. Every metabolic process involved in protein synthesis, from digestion to amino acid transport to cellular repair, depends on optimal fluid balance. When you're dehydrated, your body cannot efficiently transport amino acids to muscle tissue, and waste products from protein metabolism accumulate, leading to fatigue and reduced muscle function. Many seniors are chronically dehydrated without realizing it. As you age, your thirst sensation diminishes, and your kidneys become less efficient at conserving water. A 2018 study published in Nutrients found that 40% of seniors are chronically dehydrated, which significantly impairs their ability to utilize dietary protein effectively. The recommendation is simple but crucial. Consume at least 35 milliliters of water per kilogram of body weight per day, and increase this by 12 to 16 ounces for every 25 grams of protein you consume. For a 150-pound person, that's approximately 2.4 liters, 10 cups, of fluid per day. Dr. Evan Johnson from the University of Wyoming has extensively studied hydration and protein metabolism in seniors. His research shows that even mild dehydration, as little as 2% body water loss, can reduce muscle protein synthesis by up to 20%. But here's the encouraging news. Improving hydration status enhances protein utilization within days. Many seniors report dramatic improvements in energy, strength, and mental clarity simply by optimizing their fluid intake alongside their protein consumption. While whole foods should be your primary protein source, strategic supplementation can help seniors bridge the gap between what they can realistically eat and what their bodies actually need for optimal health. Whey protein deserves special attention for seniors. It's rapidly absorbed, contains all essential amino acids in optimal ratios, and is particularly rich in leucine, the amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. Studies consistently show that whey protein is more effective than other protein sources for maintaining muscle mass in older adults. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors consuming 25 grams of whey protein twice daily for 12 weeks gained significantly more muscle mass and strength than those consuming equivalent amounts of casein or soy protein. But supplementation isn't just about convenience. It's about digestibility. Many seniors struggle to consume large amounts of whole protein foods due to reduced appetite, dental issues, or digestive problems. High-quality protein powders can provide concentrated nutrition in an easily digestible form. Collagen peptides deserve special mention for seniors. As you age, your body's collagen production decreases by approximately 1% per year after age 25. Supplementing with 10 to 15 grams of collagen peptides daily has been shown to improve skin elasticity, joint health, and bone density. Dr. Stuart Phillips from McMaster University recommends that seniors consider whey protein supplementation if they cannot consistently achieve optimal protein intake through whole foods alone. His research shows that even small amounts, 15 to 20 grams per day, can make a significant difference in muscle preservation. Knowing what to do is one thing. Actually implementing it consistently is another. Let me give you a practical, step-by-step approach to transforming your protein intake without overwhelming your routine or your budget. Start with breakfast. This is where most seniors fall short. Instead of toast and coffee, aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein. 3 eggs with cheese, 28 grams. Greek yogurt with nuts, 25 grams. Or a protein smoothie with whey powder and berries, 30 grams, will set you up for success. For lunch, think beyond sandwiches. A large salad with 4 to 6 ounces of grilled chicken or salmon provides 30 to 40 grams of protein. Canned fish is convenient and affordable. One can of salmon contains about 45 grams of protein and costs less than $3. Dinner is usually where seniors get adequate protein, but make sure you're hitting 30 plus grams. A 5 to 6 ounce serving of lean meat, fish, or poultry will get you there. If you have a small appetite, consider having your protein first while you're hungriest. Budget-friendly high-protein options include eggs, about 25 cents per egg, 6 grams protein; canned fish, $2 to $4 per can, 20 to 45 grams protein; Greek yogurt, $1 to $2 per serving, 15 to 20 grams protein; and dried beans and lentils, about 50 cents per serving, 15 grams protein when combined properly. The key is consistency, not perfection. Aim to hit your protein target 80% of the time. If you miss a meal, don't try to make up for it by overloading the next meal. Just get back on track. Your body will respond to the overall pattern, not daily perfection. Understanding what to expect and when can help you stay motivated during your protein optimization journey. The good news is that some benefits begin almost immediately, while others develop over months of consistent practice. Within the first week of optimal protein intake, most people notice improved mental clarity and stable energy levels throughout the day. This is due to better neurotransmitter production and more stable blood sugar from protein's effect on glucose metabolism. By week 4, measurable changes begin to appear. Blood markers of muscle protein synthesis improve, and many people notice increased strength during daily activities. Climbing stairs feels easier. Carrying groceries becomes less challenging. At 3 months, body composition changes become significant. Studies show that seniors following optimal protein intake can gain 2 to 4 pounds of muscle mass while losing 3 to 6 pounds of fat during this period. The scale might not change dramatically, but your body is being rebuilt from the inside out. By 6 months, the transformation is often remarkable. Improved bone density, enhanced immune function, better wound healing, increased metabolic rate, and significantly improved functional capacity. Many people report feeling like they've turned back the clock by a decade or more. The long-term benefits extend far beyond physical changes. Maintained independence, reduced healthcare costs, better quality of life, and the confidence that comes from feeling strong and capable in your own body. This isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. The choice is yours. You can continue following outdated guidelines that were designed to prevent deficiency diseases in young adults, or you can give your body what it actually needs to thrive in your later years. The research is clear, the benefits are profound, and the time to start is now. Your future self will thank you for every gram of protein you prioritize today. Every meal is an opportunity to build strength, preserve independence, and add vitality to your years. Don't let anyone tell you that decline is inevitable. It's not. If this video has opened your eyes to the critical importance of adequate protein for healthy aging, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe for more evidence-based strategies that can help you age with strength and vitality. Your best years don't have to be behind you. They can be ahead of you. If protein optimization fascinated you, you absolutely need to see our video on resistance training for seniors. It's the perfect complement to everything we've discussed today. Click right here to discover the exercise strategies that amplify protein's muscle-building effects. Remember, aging is inevitable, but decline is optional.